G'day, I'm Paul Murray. Thank you so much for watching us. Welcome to the program, and we truly are live this evening. We are live from the CEO Sleepout. We're here in Sydney, but there are events that are happening in big cities, small country towns, because tonight is a night when some of the most powerful people in the country, people from business, politics, community groups, will all do what far too many people do in this country, and that is sleep under the stars. They'll rough it, and they will experience what, as I say, far too many people eventually call their life. There are too many people that are homeless in this country, and that's self-evident. But it's something that we can do something about. We can do it by changing our attitudes, we can do it by understanding why people end up on the streets, and we can do it by supporting charities like St Vincent de Paul. The Vinnies are a spectacular organisation. The work that they do in the middle of the night when all of us are tucked up, comfortable in bed or fall asleep in front of the telly and you've got your heater and your fire on right now, what they do truly is amazing. If you believe in a higher power, that's the work that they do, but if you don't, certainly it proves something very special. Now, in the next hour, I'm going to present a pretty special show. Not only will we do all of the usual stuff about the news of the day, we'll have a special guest here in Malcolm Turnbull, we'll have our panel as always, and we'll get the winners and losers of the week. But I really do want you to understand tonight, and I don't want to be worthy about it, I don't want to be hand-wringing about it, but I want you to understand, and I'll try and give you a real perspective about why this event is happening. It's not CEOs who are here just to show off that they care about their communities, and then tomorrow night they won't do anything about it. It is an event that is about making sure that the country's most powerful people have a true understanding of the most vulnerable people amongst us. I want you to get a real understanding of how important this night is, how real this night is, and how, while it's an option for everyone here, it is well and truly not an option for tens of thousands of people, including the best part of a football stadium worth of kids. A football stadium worth of kids tonight will spend the night on the streets. They'll rough it. We're better than that as a country, and at a time when we're trying to talk about billions of dollars in education funding, billions of dollars in defence spending and asylum seeker blowouts, millions of dollars in government advertising, perhaps tonight is a night where our nation's leaders, who are coming back from Canberra for one last time, might be able to understand that there are an awful lot of people who need help. I am very pleased to say there's a very special lady that I want to talk to this evening. Her name is Candice Fairlight, and she's with Vinnies, but she wasn't always with Vinnies. In fact, she was receiving some help from them not that long ago when you yourself were on the streets. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Thanks for doing this. I'm going to ask the obvious one. Why is tonight important?
Tonight's important because homelessness doesn't have to be a condition that we accept. And that's not Vinnies talking, and that's me. When everything's falling apart and you feel like there's no place to go, there are places to go. It's just that so many of those places to go hold such a stigma that some people who even have the knowledge to go there don't.
How did you end up needing the help of the Vinnies?
Through a very poor set of circumstances, a marriage that failed, domestic violence, mental illness on my partner's behalf, and breast cancer on mine. But all good now. But yeah, and then when the marriage fell apart, it left me homeless.
There's a couple of things that people always, I don't think, quite understand about homelessness, so if you don't mind, I'll go through some of those.
Okay.
People always assume that there's always an option, there's always a friend, there's always a family member, there's always someone, even on the extreme, somebody you went to school with, somebody you worked with 2 years ago. How does it end up that all of the options close off?
Fear. Fear of being judged, fear of being seen as less than enough, fear of being, put into a box that, you went for help, you went to you're on Centrelink.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this. It's the stigma. It's the way people see the filters that they see homelessness through. Was there a night, an experience where you went, that's it, not again. I'm turning bottom, and I'm going to do something else now. You mean going into being homeless or going out of it?
Coming out of it.
Yeah. When my daughter was in the States, with her family in the States, and her airline ticket was dated a certain date, and if I didn't have a position and a home, she wasn't coming back.
Wow.
So she was my compelling reason why to get out.
When you are sleeping rough, and I don't know what the proper term is, but I'm going to use that.
That's cool.
Is that when you're sleeping rough, when you are homeless, I would imagine that sleep is never comforting because you're constantly afraid, you're sleeping with one eye open. What sorts of things are you afraid
Of
when you're sleeping?
Well, I wasn't in the city. My experience wasn't the typical sleep on the street in the city thing. Talking to people who have been there, it's right. You are constantly one eye open, one eye shut. There's, you never know what's going to happen. It's is it your food that's going to be taken? Is it your clothes or whatever? But my experience was sleeping in my car in the Royal National Park, and I always thought that going into the park made it like who was going to go in there to hurt me. So I'd rather be there with the animals.
Yeah, wow.
Than to be with humans.
And then we were talking about it before. Something that is really important about this event is people understanding the number of kids who do sleep homeless or will be homeless right now. It's a football stadium worth of kids.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think of it in that stage, it's what, 26,000?
Think about it. Yeah. Well, it's 28,000 kids on the street every night.
Yeah.
So just think about it. If all of those, say, one footy game, if all those people took that money for those tickets and donated it to Vinnies or Salvos or Uniting Church, whoever, that would be thousands and thousands of dollars that we could put toward, helping our children. There's no reason for our kids to be on the street.
Well, and here's the bit where the CEO bit comes in, because these are people of influence and they are people of affluence, which means they are personally driven to donate. They focus their cause to donate, and importantly, I want people watching us at home to do that as well. So they can go to the CEO Sleepout website, just Google it. Yep. Otherwise, you can go to the Vinnies, vinnies.org.au.
Anytime.
Constance, good on you.
Pleasure.
And good on you also for not just picking yourself up, but trying to help pull other people through that darkness.
My pleasure.
Awesome to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Constance.